Welcome to another Jargon Slayer video. Larry Smith here with you again. Appreciate all those loyal viewers who've been watching and have been sending in comments and actually asking for demos of different things to do with Windows 7 and Internet Explorer 9. So today I got an email from a viewer, and a loyal viewer I call her, and a question is, where is Network Neighborhood option in Windows 7? That's useful for a lot of people in Windows XP, but in Windows 7 nobody can find it. Well, a little background here. Microsoft and the computer industry in general, but particularly Microsoft right now, is moving data storage to something called DFS, which stands for Distributed File Shares. And what that means is no longer will your data be stored on Drive E or will be stored on Helios Home Public as far as how you access it. It will be distributed across multiple shared drives on an array. And so no longer will you have to remember where your data is. You just have to remember the name of your folder. Of course, the downside is all folders have to have unique names, so you can't name yours same as somebody else's. So distributed file shares is the reason why Network Neighborhood's going away, because down the road in the future we will no longer connect to data on a network via server and file name. Today's demo then is going to just show you how you can use the tools in Windows 7 to create a similar experience to Network Neighborhood using the computer icon and some other options. So here's the demo of the new way to find computers on the network. Hello and welcome to another demo by your friendly IS department. Today we're going to talk about what happened to Network Neighborhood. It's no longer available in Windows 7. And remember, this is a Windows 7 demo. And then what you can do in place of Network Neighborhood or some of the options you have. First thing to know is if you want to be able to have an icon on your desktop that's about the computers in your area or your network neighborhood, you right-click on anywhere on the blank part of the desktop, you go to Personalize, and then you go up here to the left to where it says Change Desktop Icons. And then one of the options over here is Network. If you click on Network and Apply, then you will find on your desktop an icon that has the network in it. And I will show you here. There it is. So there's all of the PCs currently discoverable on the network, 224 of them. If you're trying to remember how to search for something, you can use Search Active Directory. If you click on Search Active Directory, you have some choices. You can find users, contacts, groups. Click this little drop down triangle and you can find computers, and if you can't remember its whole name, you can type part of the name and then Find Now, and then you find all the computers that start with that name. So that's one way to find computers that are on the network. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the computer icon. It used to be called My Computer here in the upper left. I'm going to double click on that and open it up. And of course this frame is sizable to any size you want, but we're going to talk about 4 or 5 options on the top of this screen. First of all, there's one called System Property, and what that really is bragging rights. If you click on System Properties, it brings up Device Manager settings, but more important for most people, it brings up the Windows Experience Index. And if you got a bigger number than somebody else, then you got a faster machine. Another one is Install or Uninstall a program. And for you who think you might be speeding things up by getting rid of stuff you don't want, be careful what you uninstall here, or at least try to uninstall here. Map Network Drive does just that. And you can see down below here I have network locations. These are map drives. So you click on a map drive, and then you can do either a browse, which we will do here, it's the easiest way. Double click on network, and up come the computers, and then you can go to any computer. Let's try one that we definitely have access to, like Helios. And under Helios, if you click that little expansion tab there, you'll find all of the areas where you can get into, you have rights to, and when you click on it, then you can say OK and finish, and now there's the contents of that directory. If you don't want that directory on your desktop after a while, you can right click on it here, and you say disconnect, and it will go away. Another option across the top is Open the Control Panel, and this is a fast way to the control panel. And here are all of the things you can do to your desktop, assuming you have privilege to do it to it. There again, don't be playing around with these unless you know what you're up to. Now we're going to get down to the real useful part of the computer display, Organize. So So if I click on Organize, we can look at one option, which is called Details pane, Preview pane, Navigation pane, and Menu bar. If I click on the menu bar, it brings up the File, Edit, View tools. And I'm not particularly want that up right now, so we're going to go back to Layout, uncheck the menu bar, and then I'm going to check Details pane. And what the Details pane does is when you open a directory or file and you click on something, here at the bottom it tells you its name, last time it was modified. If we go into that file and click on one, it gives us more information about the document itself, date modified, how big it is, and the date it was created. That's called the Details pane. I'm going to uncheck the Details pane, and now we're going to go in and check the Preview pane. And what Preview does is it shows you the contents of any file you're looking at that's displayable, or a few file types that are not. So let's just go switch files, and you see I've got lots of documents here. Here's an Adobe file. If I click on that one, it opened Adobe Reader, and on the right is a picture of what's in that file. Here is a file that was created with Visio, and you can see that I can move it around to the right pane. I've never opened this. I didn't have to open Visio. And now a Word document, you can see that you can move around or see what's in the document. So you don't actually have to open Word or open Excel or any of those, or a PDF file to see what's in the file. You just turn on, here under Organize, you can turn on the Preview pane. Now if we turn on also the Navigation pane, then on the left brings down the list of files and directories and folders that you're currently connected to on your desktop. So I'm going to close the C drive or shrink it back down. Here's all my map drives, and down at the bottom is the network. So this is another way to get to the network and to see all of the computers that are out there. Okay. Now over here on the right is the More Options button, and More Options is just how are these files going to be displayed. So we're going to start with extra large icons. When we do that, you notice that it brings up folders, gives you a little glimpse of one of the files that's inside that folder, so you can have an idea which one you might want to be opening. Now, this one has an Adobe document, so I'm going to double click this and open it. And this setting you can make global, or you can make it per folder. That's your choice. I'll make it big again. So here's a PDF, and if I double click on it, it obviously opens a PDF and we can see in it. Another option then is we go down to large icons, and they just look the same, they just got a little smaller. And then we go to medium icons, obviously shrink again. And then we go to small icons, which just give you an idea of what kind of program created it. And then we go to list, and list is just a list of all of the files that are in that particular folder. And let's see if I got something that's got lots in it. There we go. Now this one happens to be video, so you can see there's a frame out of every video that's stuck on the screen. And then if we go to details, you will now find the date, what it is, how big it is, and how long it is. If it's a movie, it will tell you how long it plays. And you can sort any of these fields. You can sort by date, you can sort by size, you can sort by length just by clicking on the field. And clicking again will do a reverse sort. So you can see the little triangle there change at the top. Okay, that's not probably the best folder to look at. Here's another folder. And on this one we're going to look at tiles. And this is what tiles does, in that it gives you sort of the detail as well as a picture of what created the document. And then last is content. And content gives you more about who created the file, when it was last modified, and how large it is. So lots of things you can do with that tool over there. This next button is called Show the Preview pane. And when we do the preview pane, that's just what we did before. You can now see the internals of a document, and you can turn that on and off by just clicking that pane. So if you don't want it on most of the time, leave it off. When you come down to something you want to see, whoops, didn't mean to open that, sorry. When you come down to something you want to see what's in it, just click the preview pane, and then you can move through the document. Anyway, that is some of the features of the computer icon on your desktop, and some of the ways that you can get a hold of network information as long as Network Neighborhood is now gone.
Well, I hope you found that demo useful and understand a little bit why Microsoft moved away from Network Neighborhood.
So if you have any questions, you're always free to email or call me. Look forward to seeing you in the next Jargon Slayer episode.